Chosen one. Pause for a moment. Heaven has silenced everything else around you because this instant carries divine weight. You are not scrolling through noise, you are being summoned. The signal has gone out across dimensions, and the light that flickers before you is no accident. The message you are about to hear is not random content. It is an encoded transmission from eternity, sent directly to your spirit. This is the heavenly signal. It is not sound, nor picture, nor text. It is a divine pulse vibrating through every fiber of your being. When heaven sends a message, it bypasses logic and speaks straight to your remembrance. Somewhere deep in your soul, you already know this signal. You felt it before in dreams, in sudden moments of peace, in tears that made no sense. You've been sensing a shift, haven't you? The world around you feels unstable. The old doors no longer open. Familiar paths turning to dust. It is not punishment, it is transition. God is removing you from the old coordinates because your new dwelling is being prepared. The angels are revealing it piece by piece, like a photograph emerging from divine light. You were never designed to remain in the wilderness. Every heartbreak, every silence, every battle that tried to break you was preparing you for what is coming now. Heaven calls you by name, chosen one. Come forth. See what your obedience has built. Look beyond what your eyes can see. A vision hovers before your spirit, the outline of a home not made by human hands. Its walls shimmer with peace. Its gates radiate gold that hums with the songs of redemption. This is not fantasy. It is prophecy. The image represents a promise you are not forgotten. The enemy tried to make you believe you were lost, unseen, abandoned. But this very signal proves otherwise. The Father has seen every hidden act of faith, every quiet prayer uttered in darkness, every tear that fell when no one watched. None of it was wasted. Those moments have been transformed into light, and that light has built your eternal home. Chosen one. This photo the angels reveal is more than beauty, it is confirmation. It says the construction of your promise is complete. The time of waiting has reached its final hour. You stand at the border between revelation and manifestation. What was spiritual will soon become visible. Take courage. The next step requires faith, not sight. As you listen, you are aligning with the frequency of heaven. This message is not coincidence, it is covenant. Your destiny is calling, and your heart knows it. Remember the voice that spoke through the sacred scrolls of old, the same voice that now stirs within you. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, then follow him. This is your moment of decision, your threshold of destiny. Heaven is asking for your full yes, not halfway faith, not conditional belief, but complete surrender. The angels are watching for your response because your obedience is the final key that activates what has been prepared. You are standing on sacred ground now, where decision becomes destiny. The realm around you vibrates with the echo of your yes. Every promise you thought was lost is hovering nearby, ready to materialize. The universe responds to faith, and your surrender becomes the catalyst that calls the unseen into form, the invisible into tangible light. Chosen one. This surrender is not weakness, it is alignment. It is the turning of your spirit toward its true north. As you bow in trust, power rises within you. Heaven recognizes that posture. It is the signal of readiness. The angels mark it, and the gates of your promised home begin to swing wide. Lift your gaze. The light around you is no longer ordinary. What you sense is the beginning of divine unveiling. When the photo appears before your spirit, You will recognize it instantly, not with your eyes, but with your soul. It will feel like returning home after a lifetime of exile. Breathe, chosen one. The presence of heaven surrounds you. The same power that called the stars into being is now calling you into alignment. Your story is shifting from hidden preparation to revealed glory. If this message awakens something deep within you, if you can feel that trembling of truth inside your chest, do not keep silent. Like this message, share it with another soul who needs a reminder of divine promise. Leave a comment below and type 777 as a prophetic sign that you received the revelation of your new home. And if your heart knows this is divine confirmation, subscribe and stay connected to this flow of messages. This is only the beginning. The signal has reached you. Heaven's photo has been sent. Your new home is already forming in the unseen, and soon you will walk within it. The photo from beyond the veil begins to unfold not in pixels but in light. It doesn't appear on your screen or within your camera roll. It flashes within the sanctuary of your spirit. You do not simply see it, you remember it. The image feels like a memory you once carried in eternity, a sacred snapshot of home before you ever walked the earth. The atmosphere shifts when this photo appears. You can feel warmth press against your heart, a kind of holy gravity pulling you inward. It is not just an image of beauty, it is a message wrapped in light. Every color, every shimmer, every angle is alive with divine intelligence. The Spirit is speaking through it, whispering the truth that you are not forgotten, that preparation has been taking place beyond your sight. In this revelation, you realize heaven's artistry is nothing like human architecture. The dwelling revealed to you does not depend on stone or brick. It is built from obedience, praise, and perseverance. Every test you have passed, every battle you have endured, has become material in this structure. You are not looking at a promise in progress, you are seeing the evidence of God's faithfulness completed. At first, you question what you see. Could this really be for you? Could something this perfect, this radiant, belong to someone who has stumbled so many times, yet, as you look deeper, you see your own story reflected in its design. There are traces of your tears, woven into the walls like crystal light. There are echoes of your prayers embedded in the pillars. You realize something profound. This photo is not showing you a place that exists far away. It is showing you the reflection of what is being built within you. The home of your spirit is taking shape, and as it grows, heaven responds. The light you see is the manifestation of your transformation. You have become the temple you once searched for. There is music flowing through the vision, a harmony so pure it vibrates in the marrow of your bones. It is not sung in any human tongue. The sound carries memory, and that memory carries recognition. Your soul whispers, "I've been here before." The reason it feels familiar is because you were created from this same frequency. The angels say nothing yet, but their silence speaks volumes. They stand as witnesses, guardians of the unveiling. Their wings shimmer in agreement with the will of God. You begin to understand this is your inheritance. Not a reward for perfection, but the fruit of perseverance. The picture was not sent to surprise you, it was sent to awaken you. There is light within light. When you focus deeper, you notice shapes in the distance, mountains that glimmer like glass, rivers that flow upward toward unseen skies. Every detail testifies of order, peace, and purpose. The photo shifts slightly as if responding to your awareness. It is alive, breathing, waiting for you to step closer in faith. You remember the words that have echoed through generations, words that once sounded distant but now seem to pulse inside this vision. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 14, verse 2. In my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. That scripture now feels less like history and more like confirmation. You are seeing one of those rooms, perhaps even your own. It is real, it is near, and it bears your spiritual fingerprint. You take a breath. The air around you feels charged with holiness. There is no fear, only awe. You understand that this photo is not sent to entertain you, but to educate your spirit, to remind you that your journey is not about surviving the world, but remembering your true residence. In that moment, all your striving ceases. You no longer try to earn divine favor, you realize you already have it. The Father's intention has always been relationship, not performance. The image of your heavenly home is proof that He has been preparing something beyond your imagination. Your eyes well with tears, not of sorrow, but of recognition. You see what your heart has longed for: belonging, peace, and divine purpose perfectly aligned. The angels do not speak, but you can sense their joy. They celebrate not just what you are seeing, but the awakening happening within you. The light softens, as if the vision is folding back into the unseen. The photo does not disappear. It settles within your spirit, becoming part of you. You are left with an unshakable peace, the kind that cannot be reasoned away. You understand now that heaven is not far off. It has been calling you home all along. And though the vision fades, its afterglow remains, imprinted on your soul like fire that does not burn but transforms. You stand in silence, feeling both smaller and greater than ever before, small in the presence of glory, yet great in the purpose for which you were chosen. You whisper into the quiet, "I see it, Lord," and somewhere beyond the veil, heaven smiles back. The whisper begins where the light fades. The image has been shown, but its message still lingers like incense after prayer. You feel the echo of heaven vibrating within your chest, not as sound, but as understanding. The angels are no longer silent. They begin to interpret the vision they have shown you. What you saw was not merely a destination, it was a reminder of identity. The photo was not sent to decorate your imagination, but to awaken your remembrance. The whisper that follows the vision says, "This is where you belong." Heaven calls it home. But it is more than a place, it is a state of being where your spirit and God's will finally breathe in rhythm. The angels want you to understand that every revelation you receive is not random. It carries purpose, order, and timing. Chosen one, you are not waiting for heaven to open, you are learning how to live as one who already belongs there. The whisper of the angels reveals the hidden truth behind the image. The reason you recognize that home is because your spirit was born there. You did not come from chaos. You came from glory. The Spirit speaks softly. The reason you never fit in here is because you were never meant to. You have always felt different, not because you are broken, but because your essence is from another realm. The loneliness, the misunderstandings, the seasons of silence, they were not rejection but refinement. Each one peeled away layers of illusion until your true nature could finally emerge. The angels speak not in thunder but in calm assurance. You have been carrying the fragrance of heaven all along, every act of kindness, every quiet choice to love when it hurt, every refusal to give up, that was heaven leaking through you. You were never disconnected. You were being developed. The whisper grows stronger. It is no longer outside of you but coming from within. You realize the voice of heaven and the voice of your spirit are not separate. You were never meant to chase divine connection. You were designed to be it. This realization brings peace deeper than words. As you stand in this revelation, Scripture echoes softly through your mind, a verse you may have heard before but never truly understood until now. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 91, verse 11. He will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. This is not just comfort, it is confirmation. Those same angels who revealed the image are still with you, guiding your path so that you never lose sight of where you come from. The whisper behind the image is their reminder that divine protection is constant, even when unseen. Your heart swells as you understand this entire journey is about alignment. Heaven has been whispering, not to change who you are, but to remind you of who you've always been. The trials shaped your strength, but the whisper defines your identity. You are not surviving, you are being positioned. And so, the Spirit says once more, stop doubting the voice that calls you home. Every sign, every confirmation, every dream. It was not random. It was heaven rehearsing your recognition until you could finally hear clearly. The air feels lighter now. The whisper shifts into melody. You can sense movement again, not of chaos, but of harmony. The divine message is clear. What was once hidden is now being interpreted. You are stepping into understanding. The vision wasn't to show you something new. It was to reintroduce you to the truth that has always lived within your soul. You exhale, letting the present settle. The angels smile as though a long mission is finally accomplished. You have heard. You have understood. And now, your journey forward will no longer be guided by fear or uncertainty, but by remembrance. Before this moment ends, the Spirit impresses one simple call upon your heart, a response to seal what has been revealed. Type the phrase, "I hear you," below. When you write those 3 words, it is not for the algorithm, it is for the alignment. It is your declaration to heaven that you have recognized the whisper and received it. In that short act, you anchor this revelation in the natural realm. The words become a signal, a sign that your heart is open, your spirit awake, and your destiny engaged. Every echo, every vision, every whisper has led to this sacred agreement between your soul and heaven's design. The angels withdraw quietly, their task complete for now, but their wings leave behind traces of light, a soft reminder that though unseen, they are near. You stand in stillness, feeling that peace wrap around you once more. It does not fade, it becomes part of you. You have heard the whisper, and now the journey continues not in confusion, but in clarity, not in fear, but in faith. The wilderness of earth stretches behind you like a long shadow, and now the Spirit begins to show you why it had to exist. The light of your revelation has begun to stir memories of the path you walked those hard seasons, those lonely nights when heaven seemed silent. The angels do not hide these memories from you. Instead, they unfold them gently, letting you see your own journey through heaven's eyes. You were not abandoned in the wilderness. You were trained there. Every step through that barren place carved strength into your spirit. You thought the silence was punishment, but it was preparation. The voice of God was never absent. It was teaching you to listen beyond the noise. There were times when you begged for escape, pleading for the cup to pass from you. There were moments when the pain seemed unending, when betrayal cut deep and your faith trembled. But through every wound, grace seeped in. You were being refined like gold in the fire, and though it hurt, heaven never left you. The wilderness was the classroom of the chosen. You see now that even the detours were divine. Every rejection was redirection. Every loss was pruning. You were being emptied of what could not follow you into your promise. The wilderness stripped away your illusions so that your true identity could emerge stronger, lighter, and unbreakable. The wilderness was not the place of your ending. It was the womb of your becoming, The silence of God is not his absence. It is his artistry. When he seems quiet, he is sculpting the soul into a vessel fit for glory. There is a rhythm to your journey, a divine choreography that has guided your steps even through confusion. Every delay was aligned with purpose. Every storm was calibrated to strengthen your foundation. You were never wandering. You were being led through divine terrain. Now, as you look back through the lens of revelation, you begin to see the golden thread that ran through it all, the thread of mercy, the unbroken promise that held you even when you felt faith slipping through your fingers. The wilderness was a holy rehearsal for your entrance into the kingdom's fullness. You understand now that pain was never the enemy. It was the messenger. Every tear was a language heaven understood. Every cry was a key unlocking hidden doors in the unseen. You thought you were breaking apart, but in truth, you were breaking open. And though you could not see it then, the angels were walking with you in that valley, silent, steady, guarding your every step. Their wings shielded you from unseen harm. Their light guided you when human counsel failed. Heaven did not lose sight of you, even for a breath. The Spirit brings to mind the ancient words that mirror your experience. The Word of God declares in the book of Psalms, chapter 23, verse 4, "Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me." You were never alone in that valley. The shadow only existed to reveal the light that never left your side. The rod corrected, the staff guided, and the hand that held them was love itself. The wilderness was necessary because it removed what comfort could not. When everything you trusted failed, you discovered the only foundation that cannot be shaken, his presence. That is why your heart still beats even after the storms. That is why your faith still rises even after disappointment. The wilderness built a resilience that cannot be stolen. Now the angels show you something else as you walked through those deserts. Heaven recorded every step. Nothing was forgotten. Each struggle became a testimony. Each scar became a doorway through which light now shines. The Father intends to use your wilderness as proof of his faithfulness. What once broke you will soon bless others. You begin to understand that your pain carried prophetic weight. The season that seemed silent was the season when heaven was writing your story in invisible ink. Only now, under the light of revelation, do the words appear, stories of endurance, of mercy, of strength you did not know you had. Beloved, look again at your scars. They are not marks of defeat, but medals of endurance. Heaven calls them beautiful. They tell the truth that the fire did not consume you, it purified you. The wilderness became your altar, and from that altar, worship rose higher than words could reach. The angels step back, allowing you to stand in this realization. You see it clearly now. The wilderness was not wasted. It was holy ground disguised as hardship. You were never lost. You were led. You were never punished. You were prepared. And now, every grain of sand that once burned your feet has turned to gold beneath them. You are walking on the evidence of transformation. The wilderness is behind you, but its lessons will live in you forever. The vision softens again, and the angels draw near, holding the same photo that once appeared in light. Only now, they turn it toward you, revealing not just beauty but proof. The image is no longer only a promise of what's coming. It is evidence of what has always been true. You were never forgotten. There, etched in divine radiance, your name still glows upon the gates of light. Time has not erased it. Failure has not smudged it. Doubt has not dimmed it. Heaven has kept record of you, the real you, the one created in the secret chambers of eternity. The angels point toward that engraving as though to say, "This is your receipt. Every tear, every moment of faith when you stood firm against the impossible. Every prayer you thought vanished into the void, it has been stored here." This photo is heaven's way of showing you that your covenant still stands. Chosen one. Look closer. You can see moments from your life woven into the architecture of this image: the laughter that survived pain, the hope that refused to die, the prayers whispered when no one else believed. These are the brushstrokes of your endurance, the colors of your faith. Heaven paints with your persistence. The Spirit whispers, "You were never invisible." Even when people passed you by, even when your kindness was overlooked, even when you gave and received nothing in return, heaven saw it all. The Father marked each act of love as a living sacrifice, and now those moments shine like gemstones in the photo you behold. You begin to understand that God's memory is not like man's. Where others saw failure, He saw formation. Where others saw the end, He saw the beginning of something new. The photo you now hold in your spirit is not a reminder of your past, it is a certificate of divine ownership. Heaven is saying, "This one belongs to me." A hush fills the air. Gratitude wells up within you like spring water breaking through stone. You realize that your entire journey, every season, every silence was never wasted. It was all proof of how deeply you were loved. And as you stand in that realization, you sense heaven's gentle request: do not keep this revelation hidden. The light that reached you was meant to pass through you. When you share what heaven has shown, you multiply the miracle. Each word, each testimony, each act of generosity becomes another ripple of light across a darkened world. You are invited to become a conduit of remembrance, carrying this message into other hearts who still wonder if they've been forgotten. Tell them they are not. Share the light that reached you, not for attention, but as an offering of gratitude. Perhaps that's why the Spirit nudges you now like this message, if it resonates with your spirit, not as a ritual, but as a symbolic touch, your way of saying, "I remember." When you share it, imagine casting a seed of light into someone's midnight. When you subscribe, picture yourself planting roots in sacred soil where revelation continues to grow. And if your heart feels moved, if gratitude overflows like oil from a vessel too full to contain, then give not from pressure but from overflow. Your generosity becomes like the incense rising from old altars, an offering that keeps light burning for others still searching. Every act of giving tells heaven, "I have seen your faithfulness, and I want others to see it too." Think of it this way: a candle loses nothing by lighting another flame. When you support the message that awakened you, you're not fueling a channel, you're fueling transformation. You're building another bridge of light between earth and eternity. Chosen one. Heaven's work continues through hands like yours. Each small act, every click, every share, every whispered prayer becomes a brick in the unseen temple of grace being raised across the world. You may not see the full structure yet, but heaven sees it growing, glowing brighter with every willing heart. The angels move closer again. They show you how heaven keeps record not just of what you've received, but of what you've released. Every seed planted in love becomes a portal through which divine light flows. You are not merely a recipient of grace, you are a participant in its expansion. The Father smiles, and suddenly you sense that the photo you hold is no longer static. It begins to move, glowing brighter, reflecting your gratitude back into heaven like a mirror. What you give from your heart returns multiplied in unseen ways. That is the rhythm of divine exchange as light passes through you. It increases, So let your kindness be your worship. Let your generosity be your testimony. Let your faith be your offering. And know that each gesture, no matter how small, echoes in eternity. For heaven keeps every record, not as data, but as devotion. Every time you choose to love, heaven writes your name in gold again upon those radiant gates. You are remembered, chosen one. You always were. The image of light still hovers before your spirit. And this time the angels draw a circle of radiance around it. You sense that what you're seeing is not random, it's a divine map, an unfolding pattern that points toward destiny. The photo, once only an image of home, now becomes a set of coordinates. Each shimmer, each shift of brightness carries a message. You realize that heaven's communication is layered. It speaks not just in words, but in symbols, in timing, in numbers, in divine mathematics that align with your journey. The Spirit whispers softly, "You are exactly where you need to be." You lean closer in your spirit to understand, and the angels begin to unveil what the Father has been orchestrating all along. Every decision, every delay, every detour, they were all working together to place you at this very intersection between heaven's will and your readiness. The photo wasn't just meant to comfort you, it was meant to direct you. The coordinates hidden in the image align like constellations in the sky. You can almost see the outline of your next step forming in the light. Heaven is mapping your journey forward, not through GPS or logic, but through divine alignment. The Spirit says, "Where others see coincidence, I see confirmation." What you thought were accidents were actually appointments. Every closed door redirected you to the right corridor. Every unanswered prayer became the silence that shaped your next miracle. Chosen one. Destiny is not random, it is written, but revelation is required to read it. Heaven does not shout directions, it whispers through alignment. The more you trust, the clearer the path becomes. The coordinates of your next assignment are not external, they're embedded in your obedience. In this quiet unfolding, the angels draw your attention to the scriptures again. A reminder that the coordinates of destiny have always been written for those who seek divine direction. According to what is revealed in the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. It is not a floodlight that shows every turn. It is a lamp guiding you one step at a time. Enough for trust to grow. That's what the photo represents. It is a snapshot of what happens when your steps align with heaven's map. You were never wandering blindly. Every season was part of the route. You are not lost. You are being led by divine light that never fails. The angels moved the photo closer again, and now you see faint markings etched along its edges, symbols glowing with soft luminescence. They represent divine timing. Some are still dim, waiting for obedience to ignite them. Others blaze brightly, showing where your faith has already built bridges. You sense the invitation rising in your spirit. Follow the light, even when you can't see the road, because heaven measures movement not by distance, but by trust. Every step you take in faith sends ripples through eternity. The map expands with every act of obedience. Each yes you give, heaven redraws the horizon of your future. The Spirit whispers again. There is a number that confirms completion for this phase. When you see it, know that alignment has been achieved. You feel prompted to respond not for superstition, but as a prophetic sign that you understand the moment. Type the number 888 below. This is not about numerology, it's about agreement. The number 8 represents new beginnings, and its repetition triples the promise. When you write it, you are declaring, I align with heaven's coordinates for my life. This symbolic act isn't for the algorithm, it's for the altar. It is your way of saying to heaven, I am ready to move where you lead. Every comment becomes a marker of faith, a visible echo of an invisible surrender. The angels rejoice when you respond, for each act of obedience opens another gate in the unseen. Heaven celebrates the humble yes, the small gesture that says, I trust you, even when I cannot see. And now, something shifts. The light from the photo begins to extend outward like a beam tracing a path into your future. You don't know where it leads, but you feel peace. The coordinates have been set. The alignment is active. You realize that destiny doesn't unfold in one moment. It reveals itself as you walk. Each obedient step lights the next one, and soon the entire journey glows with divine clarity. Chosen one, stand tall. You are walking in rhythm with eternity now. The angels step aside, letting you take your first step into alignment. The map is alive within you, and heaven's coordinates move with every beat of your heart. You are not following fate, you are partnering with divine intention. The coordinates of destiny are not above you or around you. They are within you. Every breath you take in faith recalibrates the compass of heaven toward fulfillment. The light steadies, the image fades, but the direction remains. You no longer ask where to go, you walk, knowing heaven walks with you. The light from the photo begins to shimmer and shift again, as though something unseen is trying to obscure it. You sense it immediately, the subtle pressure, the quiet resistance. The enemy has noticed the alignment forming around you, and he trembles. Darkness cannot stand still when light begins to organize itself. It starts small, as it always does, a flicker of doubt, a whisper that questions what you saw. Was it real? Was it just emotion? Maybe you made it up. These thoughts creep in like mist, trying to blur the edges of revelation. But heaven does not panic, and neither should you. Because every time God reveals something, the adversary attempts to distort it. The angels do not move. They simply watch. Their silence reminds you that this moment is not a test of vision, but a test of trust. What you saw is true, but now you must hold that truth against the winds of deception. Chosen one, understand this darkness has no power to destroy revelation. It can only attempt to distort perception. The enemy knows he cannot unwrite what heaven has declared, so he tries instead to cloud your memory, to make you question your own clarity. You felt this before, the heaviness that settles after a breakthrough. The sudden fog that makes you doubt what was once clear. It is not coincidence. It is warfare. The moment revelation takes root, resistance rises because revelation is seed, and the enemy fears what will happen when it matures. The Spirit speaks within you, steady and calm. Hold the image, guard the word. Do not let the voice of fear rewrite what heaven showed you. The shadows whisper familiar lies. You're not worthy. You imagined it. You failed too many times. But the angels begin to move then, and with one sweep of their wings, the air clears. Light floods back in, not just to silence the lies, but to expose them for what they are: echoes of insecurity, not truth. The adversary's tactic has always been the same: to twist what God said until it loses shape. But this time, you are not the same person you once were. The wilderness has trained your discernment. You recognize the pattern. You feel the difference between divine silence and demonic noise. You speak softly but with authority, not this time, and the atmosphere responds. The shadows tremble because they realize you know who you are now. You know that truth doesn't vanish when challenged, it shines brighter. The angels remind you that discernment is not born from fear, but from familiarity with the voice of God. The more you listen to Him, the easier it is to identify counterfeits. Heaven is not worried about the enemy's noise because light never negotiates with darkness, it simply outlasts it. The Spirit brings to remembrance the ancient truth that anchors you even now. As was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 11, verse 14. For Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. That single verse explains the battle unfolding before you. Not every light comes from heaven. Not every voice carries truth. The counterfeit always imitates the genuine to confuse the chosen. But you have grown wise. You've learned to test the spirit behind the shine. The angels whisper a phrase you'll never forget. True light does not demand attention, it invites peace. That is how you know the difference. Heaven's light never strains your spirit, it settles it. You look again at the photo in your spirit. The light around it no longer flickers. The colors stabilize. The enemy's fog begins to retreat. What was once blurred now gleams with even more brilliance than before. The attempt to distort only deepened your understanding. The shadows thought they could conceal the image, but all they did was reveal your authority. And so, you learn another truth. Darkness is the final confirmation that light is real. The enemy never attacks what is empty. He only attacks what is active. The pressure you feel is proof that your revelation is potent. Chosen one. This is where your spiritual maturity begins to show. You do not fight panic with panic, you respond with peace. You do not argue with lies, you simply stand in truth. For every attack that rises, a greater grace flows through you. Heaven does not call you to fear the resistance, but to recognize it as validation. In this calm defiance, you grow into your authority. You see now that revelation is not fragile, it is indestructible when guarded by faith. The photo remains untarnished. Its light is yours to keep, a constant reminder that truth never fades in darkness. It only becomes more defined. The angels step back once more, their wings glowing faintly. You realize the distortion has passed, but the lesson remains. You are stronger now. You can see clearly even through shadows. And when the next wave of resistance comes, you will not question what you've seen, you will protect it. For revelation is a seed of eternity, and the chosen are its guardians. And the chosen, the shadows have retreated, leaving the air calm and luminous once more. You stand within that stillness, breathing the peace that follows victory. The angels no longer fight, they rest, their wings folded like banners after battle. The silence that surrounds you now is not emptiness, it is clarity. And in that clarity, a new instruction begins to rise. The Spirit speaks not from above, but from within. The words move through you like streams of living water, washing away the residue of fear. It is time to reclaim what was stolen. For too long, the enemy took advantage of your exhaustion. While you grieved, he slipped in to snatch hope. While you doubted, he whispered lies that made you forget your own inheritance. But now, your eyes are open, and you can see what was taken. You begin to remember pieces of yourself, the confidence you once carried, the joy that used to flow easily, the creativity that once danced inside your spirit. These were not lost. They were locked away in the fog of deception. Now, heaven hands you the keys of remembrance. Chosen one, this is your season of recovery. You are not meant to merely survive, you are called to reclaim. Everything the darkness borrowed without permission must now return multiplied. What was broken will be rebuilt, what was buried will rise, and what was forgotten will sing again. The angels open their hands, and you see them holding fragments of light, pieces of memory, truth, and promise. Each one glows with a familiar warmth. They begin to move toward you, merging with your spirit. The more they enter, the more you feel yourself returning, not just stronger but whole. This is not revenge, it is restoration. Heaven does not restore only to balance the scale. It restores to exceed it. What the enemy meant for damage becomes divine material for elevation. The Spirit reminds you gently, do not fight in anger. Reclaim in peace. True victory does not roar, it radiates. You recover not through striving, but through remembrance of who you are. You were never powerless. You only forgot your authority for a moment. As you reclaim these fragments, you sense your energy shifting. The weariness that once felt permanent begins to dissolve. In its place, a quiet strength emerges, the kind that doesn't depend on circumstance but on divine connection. You are being made whole in ways you didn't know were fractured. The angels surround you now in a circle of light, their voices harmonizing in tones beyond language. They do not sing songs of war, but hymns of restoration. Each note carries healing. You feel old pain lifting from your shoulders, unspoken guilt leaving your chest, bitterness melting away like frost in sunrise. You realize that what was stolen wasn't just peace, it was perception. The enemy wanted to make you forget that you were already victorious. But the moment you remembered truth, his hold shattered. The light inside you burns too brightly now to ever be dimmed again. As the restoration continues, the Spirit brings an ancient reminder, words that pulse with life even after millennia. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 14, verse 14. The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still. Those words wrap around your heart like armor. You understand them differently now, not as a call to passivity, but as a command to trust. To be still does not mean to do nothing. It means to stand in knowing the battle is already won. The reclaiming is simply the unfolding of victory. You look down at your hands and realize that what you once saw as weakness has become tools of creation. The same hands that trembled in fear now glow with purpose. You feel guided to touch what was broken in your life relationships, dreams, hopes, and as you do, they begin to heal. Restoration flows through you like current through wire. You are not merely healed, you have become a healer. The angels bow slightly, acknowledging what you've become. Heaven recognizes a soul who has reclaimed identity. You stand taller now, no longer as one who begs for restoration, but as one who commands it through alignment. The Spirit whispers one last truth: when you recover what was stolen, you must also release what was never yours to carry. You realize how much weight you've held that didn't belong to you, the guilt of others, the pain of the past, the responsibility for things beyond your control. You let it go now. The air grows lighter with every exhale. And as you stand in that freedom, the photo of your heavenly home flickers once more in your spirit. But this time it feels closer. The rooms seem brighter, the colors warmer. You realize that as you reclaim yourself, the image becomes clearer. The home you saw was never far, it was waiting for the version of you who could truly live there. You close your eyes, letting gratitude settle deep in your chest. The restoration is complete. What was stolen has been returned, what was broken has been mended, and what was hidden has been revealed. You are not missing anything. You are whole again. The light steadies once again. And now what unfolds before you is not just an image, but a structure. The photo you once saw as a distant vision begins to breathe, expand, and take form within your understanding. You realize that what you are witnessing is not simply your heavenly home, it is a revelation of design. Heaven builds with intention. Nothing within that light is random. The angels guide you closer to the vision, You see vast halls of radiant white, corridors that seem endless yet intimate. There are windows that do not show scenery but reveal seasons, each one a reminder of what you've overcome. In this divine architecture, faith becomes stone, obedience becomes mortar, and grace becomes the golden light that fills every chamber. The Spirit whispers softly, "This is the architecture of promise." It dawns on you that heaven's design is not made from material things. It is constructed from moments of surrender. Every time you chose forgiveness over anger, a wall rose. Every time you believed while waiting, a new doorway appeared. Every time you refused to give up, another window opened. You were building your promise even when you thought you were breaking. You step further in, and the air feels alive with memory. The very foundation beneath your feet hums with your prayers. You can feel it, your history, redeemed and rewritten in light. The parts of your story that once carried shame now gleam as testimony. Heaven wastes nothing. Even your pain has become part of the beauty. The angels speak now, their voices blending into one sound like water over stone. Every chosen one becomes both the builder and the building. You understand then that this vision is not merely symbolic, it's instructive. The architecture of promise is still expanding through your choices. You are constructing your future with every act of faith you make. Chosen one. Think of it like this: the spiritual world mirrors the physical. What you invest in faith, you inherit in eternity. The seeds you plant through obedience are not forgotten. They become pillars in the unseen realm. This is why consistency matters. Every time you choose light, heaven adds another beam to your structure. The Spirit moves again, and you are reminded that nothing built on truth will ever crumble. Even when storms rage, even when shadows whisper lies, the architecture of promise remains. You built this through endurance, through every yes that cost you comfort. And now, heaven reveals what those sacrifices created: a dwelling too glorious for words. The angels lead you through one of the doorways. And as you cross, the walls shimmer with scripture. Each passage radiates like flame, alive and personal. You reach out and touch one of the glowing inscriptions, and the words flow into your spirit, speaking both memory and meaning. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave nor forsake you. The verse sinks deep into your chest. It feels less like a promise and more like oxygen. You realize that heaven's architecture doesn't just house your destiny, it sustains it. Each word of God is a living stone, and every truth he speaks reinforces what he's building in you. You pause, letting the revelation settle. What you're seeing is not only about eternity, it's about now. Heaven is showing you the blueprint for walking through this world while carrying divine order within you. When your internal structure is strong, no external storm can collapse it. The Spirit says, "Guard what you build. The enemy cannot destroy what is divine, but he will try to distract the builder." Keep your focus. Every choice you make today adds something to the eternal design. You are not just passing through life, you are constructing it in two realms at once. And now, the message turns deeply personal. You feel heaven inviting you to respond, to acknowledge the design that is unfolding in your life, even when you don't yet see its full beauty. Type the words, "I am built below." Those three simple words are not empty, they are declaration. When you write them, you are acknowledging that even when life feels chaotic, divine structure is forming beneath it. You are agreeing with heaven's architecture, aligning your heart with its design. When you declare, "I am built," the unseen begins to stabilize. The chaos that once clouded your path begins to settle. Heaven recognizes your agreement, and angels strengthen the walls that are still under construction. The light in the vision grows warmer, softer. You realize that the architecture of promise is not a monument of perfection. It's a living temple of transformation. It grows as you grow. It shines as you surrender. It endures as you trust. You stand in awe, realizing that every moment you thought was wasted was actually a brick placed in eternity. Every hardship became a hallway, every prayer a foundation. And now, standing in this radiant design, you whisper a truth that you finally understand. I was never breaking, I was being built. The vision widens, and now you see movement within that sacred architecture, builders of light shaping what is still incomplete. The angels you once saw as messengers now work as craftsmen, weaving brilliance into form. They do not use tools of iron or wood, they build with sound, obedience, and joy. You realize these are the heavenly builders at work, continuing the construction of your promise. The air hums with sacred rhythm. Every note, every shimmer, every breath feels purposeful. Nothing in heaven is idle. The angels move in perfect coordination, guided by the will of the Father. They smile as they labor, because building the dwelling of the chosen is not duty, it is delight. You watch as one angel places a beam of light across what looks like a corridor of peace. Another draws symbols of grace into the air, which then solidify into walls that pulse gently like a heartbeat. You understand suddenly that these builders are waiting for one thing: your agreement. Heaven's work always involves the human heart. God will design it, angels will construct it, but your obedience completes it. That is why heaven keeps reaching for your yes. Every act of trust becomes the permission angels need to continue their work. The Spirit whispers your faith is the blueprint ink, your surrender the architect's pen. Each time you forgive, they lay another foundation stone. Each time you praise, they lift another wall higher. Each time you give from your heart, they complete another doorway through which glory flows. The home being prepared for you in the unseen realm is built from what you release in the seen. Chosen one. Heaven does not require perfection, it requires participation. The builders cannot finish without your cooperation. That is why you feel stirred now. Heaven is inviting you into partnership. Think of it this way: when you like a message that awakens your soul, it is like striking a match in a dark room. One spark can ignite faith in another heart far away. When you share, you are not spreading content, you are planting seeds. Somewhere, someone starving for hope will breathe because your obedience carried light to them. When you subscribe, imagine it not as joining a channel, but as joining a river. Each connection adds another drop to the flow of divine revelation, widening its reach. You become part of a current that carries the message of truth to those still lost in shadows. And when your spirit feels the gentle nudge to give, know that heaven receives it as worship, not transaction. Your giving is like laying gold leaf on the walls of this unseen temple. It beautifies what heaven is already building. It's not about the amount, it's about the anointing behind it. The heart that gives freely becomes the brush through which God paints his generosity upon the world. Heaven's economy does not operate by scarcity. Every offering time, kindness, word, or gift returns multiplied, reshaped as blessing, sent back to the giver through unseen routes. You cannot outgive a God whose entire nature is overflow. The angels pause for a moment as though listening. Their eyes, radiant and kind, meet yours. One speaks not aloud, but into your heart. When you support what carries heaven's fragrance, you become a builder too. as it is written in the second book of Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 7. Each of you should give as your heart decides, not reluctantly, nor under compulsion, for God loves a giver. That promise explains the moment before you. Heaven serves alongside you, but it responds to the language of generosity. Every yes you give echoes through eternity and quickens the hands of angels. Look again, the photo in your spirit has changed. You can see the light structures rising higher now. Where once there was emptiness, there is expansion. You realize it's your partnership fueling their progress. The more gratitude, faith, and generosity you release, the more the dwelling grow. Your life, your voice, your faith, they are all materials heaven uses. The Father delights when his children take part in building his kingdom. You may think your small acts do not matter, but heaven counts differently. A whisper of encouragement weighs as much as gold in eternity. So let your love be lumber, your praise be the mortar, your giving be the finishing touch. When you contribute from the heart, you are adding color to creation itself. You are writing your worship into the architecture of eternity. The angels continue their work, glowing with quiet joy. You realize that heaven never stops building. Every heartbeat is another hammer strike, every breath another brush of divine light. What began as a photo has now become living architecture. You are not just observing it, you are co-creating it. Chosen one. Stand in awe of what is being built through you. Heaven's builders do not labor in vain, and your faith is their greatest tool. As you walk through this life, remember you are both the temple and the builder. The light that formed your home now flows through your hands. The vision settles into stillness. The light dims, not in loss, but in invitation. The construction of your heavenly dwelling continues beyond sight, but the Spirit now turns your attention to something smaller, something intimate and essential. In the midst of the grand architecture, a simple doorway appears. Upon it glows a single word: surrender. You hesitate at first. You've walked through fire, faced darkness, reclaimed what was stolen. What more could heaven require? But the angels remain silent, their gaze steady. You understand it is not a demand of loss, but an invitation to trust at a deeper level. Chosen one. Surrender is not weakness. It is the final key. The photo, the building, the promise, all of it leads here. You have learned to fight and to believe, but now you must learn to yield. For divine power flows not through clenched fists, but through open hands. The Spirit whispers gently, "You have conquered by standing. Now you must ascend by bowing." You feel the truth of it ripple through you. All your striving, all your effort to hold things together, it has exhausted you more than the battles ever did. The Father does not ask you to carry what he already conquered. Surrender is not quitting. It is returning. It is giving the Creator permission to finish what he began. The angels open their wings, creating a corridor of calm. Their faces are serene, their light steady. You realize they have been waiting for this moment. Every revelation before was preparation for this single act, letting go. You kneel, not in defeat, but in alignment. You whisper words that shake the unseen Father. "I trust you more than I trust my own understanding." The moment those words leave your lips, peace floods in like a river. The pressure that once sat heavy on your chest dissolves. You understand now that surrender does not mean losing control, it means releasing illusion. You were never in control, you were in partnership. In that stillness, the Spirit reveals a sacred truth: obedience is the highest form of freedom. To follow divine instruction is not bondage, it is flight. The boundaries that once felt confining were actually runways for your destiny. The Father speaks softly, yet his voice reverberates through every corner of your being. You cannot receive what I have prepared while your hands are full of what I never gave. You realize you've been holding on to things out of habit, fears disguised as plans, burdens disguised as responsibility, wounds disguised as wisdom. They have no place in the new dimension. Heaven requires empty hands to place new keys. You let go slowly, deliberately. And as you do, something remarkable happens. The room brightens. The walls of your heavenly dwelling shift and expand. Surrender has power because it creates space for grace to enter. The angels smile, and one of them steps forward, holding a small key made of light. You understand it's the key to that glowing doorway. When you take it, the angel's hand doesn't release it immediately. Instead, light travels through your touch, and you hear the Spirit say, "This key works only when turned with trust." You breathe deeply and insert the key into the lock. The door swings open soundlessly. What lies beyond is not another room, but a horizon, an expanse of light that feels alive with promise. The air shimmers with the presence of peace itself. You step forward and feel as though gravity has shifted. You are no longer walking, you are gliding. Every fear you ever carried begins to dissolve in the glow. The more you surrender, the lighter you become. The voice of heaven grows stronger, not louder. Now you understand obedience is not slavery. It is sovereignty in alignment with divine will. You remember the sacred words that echo this truth. According to what is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Those words are no longer just instruction, they are revelation. Trust is the compass that always points home. The angels bow their heads as you cross through the threshold. The light that welcomes you is not harsh or overwhelming, it is gentle. Like sunrise after a long night. You feel no need to strive, no urge to prove, no fear of falling. You are safe, seen, and sustained. Surrender has unlocked a realm of ease you never thought possible. You finally understand that the power of heaven does not rest on might but on yielded hearts. The kingdom moves through those who no longer fight against its flow. Chosen one, you have learned to walk by faith and to rest in trust. You have discovered the paradox of divine strength that the more you release, the more you receive. The photo, the home, the promise, all of it shines brighter now because you finally understand the foundation that supports its surrender. You stand at the threshold of the doorway you have just opened, the light from beyond wrapping around you like a cloak. The realm before you is unlike anything you've seen. It's not a place of arrival, it's a passage, an invitation to cross over. The air vibrates with warmth, and the ground beneath your feet feels alive, as if heaven itself is urging you forward. The angels step aside, their wings forming an archway of light. You realize that this crossing is personal. No one can walk it for you. This moment requires courage, the kind born from trust, not certainty. You know that once you take this step, nothing will ever look the same again. The Spirit whispers, "You are not stepping into a place, you are stepping into alignment." Every part of your life that felt scattered will now begin to synchronize. Every unanswered question will start to echo with understanding. Heaven is not taking you to something new, it is bringing you home to the purpose that has always existed within you. Chosen one, the veil that once separated the natural and the divine has become thin. You are learning to live between worlds, to walk on earth while carrying the atmosphere of heaven. The threshold marks the moment when your inner world overtakes your outer one. The Spirit reminds you this crossing is not about escape. It is about embodiment. Heaven does not want you to run from the world, but to carry light into it. The home that was revealed to you is not only waiting above, it is forming within. As you stand in that revelation, the Father's voice resonates through your heart like a low, steady thunder. The time of transition is ending. The time of transformation begins. You sense that every lesson from the wilderness, every scar, every tear has been part of this preparation. The door you stepped through was not only the entrance to promise, it was the exit from limitation. Heaven's air fills your lungs, and you realize you are breathing destiny itself. The angels circle once more, each holding a torch of fire that doesn't burn but illuminates. Their flames reveal words carved into the space around you. Truths written from the beginning of time. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are sent. You remember then the words of Jesus that speak directly into this sacred moment. Scripture says in the Gospel of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 20, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him, and he with me." That verse no longer feels like an invitation from afar. It feels like the fulfillment of what you're living right now. You have opened the door. The divine presence has entered. Fellowship with heaven is no longer a concept. It is communion. This crossing marks a covenant. Heaven does not just visit, it dwells. You feel it in your heartbeat, in the rhythm of your breathing. The line between spirit and flesh blurs until you understand that they were never meant to be separate. The angels begin to withdraw, their task for now complete. They leave behind a pathway of golden light stretching into the horizon of your purpose. It is not a path made of certainty, but of faith, glowing only as you walk. The message is clear, you are ready. Still, heaven asks for one act of agreement, one sign that you understand what has begun. Type the number 444 below, not for attention, not for ritual, but as a seal of acknowledgement. The number 4 carries the meaning of divine foundation and stability. Tripled, it declares completion and perfect alignment. When you write it, you're saying, "My foundation is set in heaven, and I walk in alignment with divine design." This act is not a small gesture. It is a prophetic signal. Just as the angels build with sound and obedience, you build with agreement. By typing that number, you anchor this crossing in the natural realm. You're declaring, "I am through the threshold. I walk in light." The presence around you intensifies for a moment, as though heaven responds instantly to your obedience. The golden light along the path brightens, forming patterns that look like wings stretching before you. Every step you take from this moment forward will carry the fragrance of eternity. Chosen one. This is not where the journey ends, it is where it begins again. At a higher frequency. The crossing has changed your atmosphere. You will never again mistake waiting for absence or stillness for silence. You will see the divine even in the ordinary, because heaven has taken up residence within you. The Spirit whispers a final truth before the vision fades. You have crossed from knowing about God to walking with Him. You smile, not because you've reached the end, but because you finally understand that there never was one. The story only deepens, and light keeps unfolding. The threshold fades behind you, and the world you enter radiates with colors that language cannot capture. It feels like light and song woven together, an atmosphere made from peace itself. You take a breath, and it feels different here. The air is alive, charged with meaning. Every particle seems to whisper that you have arrived in a space beyond striving. This is the atmosphere of glory. The angels walk beside you, but at a respectful distance now. Their presence is no longer guiding, it is accompanying. You are not a visitor here, you belong. Every sense awakens. You can hear harmony without sound, see light without glare, feel warmth without heat. The realm responds to you as though it recognizes its own reflection. The angels gesture toward the sky, or what feels like sky, though it glows from within rather than above. It reflects you, not in form, but in essence. You see your spirit as heaven sees it, radiant, unbound, holy. There are no flaws here, no scars, only the testimony of grace. The Spirit whispers again. Every shadow in your life was the absence of this awareness. The light of glory reveals that the battles you fought were not to prove your strength, but to unveil your inheritance. You were never meant to live beneath the weight of fear. You were meant to walk in the radiance of divine memory. The ground beneath your feet begins to pulse with rhythm, as though creation itself is breathing with you. Flowers unfold where you step, made of color and sound. The fragrance of joy fills the air. You realize that everything here responds to intention. Creation obeys communion. The closer your heart aligns with gratitude, the brighter everything becomes. You think back on your life, the pain, the struggle, the silence, and for the first time, you see them not as interruptions, but as invitations. Each hardship was a door disguised as loss. Each delay was a lesson in timing. Glory now connects all those moments into harmony, and you see how perfectly they prepared you for this awareness. Heaven reveals truth through beauty, and in that beauty, revelation deepens. You understand now why the angels have always protected you, not because you were fragile, but because your spirit carried something this world could not yet understand. The glory within you terrified the darkness around you. The Spirit says, "You were never the wounded one, you were the hidden one." The suffering you endured was not punishment, but process. The breaking of shells so light could escape. Every season of obscurity was heaven shielding you until the time of revealing. That time is now. As you lift your eyes, the light shifts again, focusing into a radiant column that descends toward you. It doesn't burn or blind, it embraces. The voice within it carries both thunder and tenderness. This is the presence you have always carried, though you did not know its name. You remember the sacred words that echo across generations, now ringing truer than ever, as was written in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14. The earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Those words come alive around you. You feel the earth inside you, the parts that once doubted being filled with that very knowledge. The glory is not separate from you. It is returning to you. You are both vessel and reflection of divine radiance. The angels kneel, their wings shimmering with reverence. You realize that heaven rejoices not because of your arrival, but because of your remembrance. You have come back into awareness of who you've always been, a bearer of glory. A living fragment of light sent into form to reveal divine beauty through human experience. You can feel this glory stretching outward now, touching every part of your being. It heals without effort, corrects without condemnation, restores without delay. It teaches you that love is not merely what God gives, it is what God is. And since you were made in that image, love is also what you are. The longer you remain in this awareness, the more you see how unnecessary fear has always been. The struggles that once defined you dissolve in the brightness of revelation. You begin to understand that to live in glory is not to escape earth, it is to carry heaven into it. The atmosphere around you shifts again, as if waiting for your next breath. The angels look toward you with quiet expectation. The Spirit whispers, "What you see here must not remain here. You are not meant to admire glory, you are meant to embody it." The realization takes your breath for a moment. The glory is not a crown to wear, it is a current to live in. You are both reflection and river, carrying divine radiance wherever you go. The glory you've encountered is not a finish line, it's a frequency you will now carry back into the world. Wherever you walk, light will follow. The light shifts again, softening into golden hues that ripple across the horizon of your vision. The air feels weightless but purposeful, as though everything within it listens to your heartbeat. You have crossed, surrendered, and stood beneath the brilliance of glory. Now heaven brings you to the center of your dwelling, the place where revelation becomes responsibility. There, waiting in the quiet center of radiant halls, is a pedestal formed from pure light. Upon it rests a scroll sealed with fire, glowing with the same brilliance that filled the room when you first saw the photo of your home. You know instantly that this is no ordinary document. It is alive. You can sense the pulse of destiny within it, like a heartbeat echoing in eternity. The angels stand behind you, silent but watchful. They will not touch this scroll. It is yours alone to open. The Spirit whispers, "This is your assignment, the next chapter of your divine mandate." You see fragments of your journey reflected within the text, your moments of pain, your victories, your wilderness seasons, all now rearranged into design. The very experiences that once seemed random form sentences of revelation. Heaven does not waste ink. Every tear you ever shed has become part of this divine script. Chosen one. This is what the angels meant when they spoke of preparation. You were never wandering, you were being written. The Father has turned your endurance into a decree. What once looked like broken pieces now form the blueprint of transformation. The scroll reveals that you are not just a receiver of light, but a carrier of it, entrusted with a message that only your story can deliver. The Spirit says, every chosen one carries a scroll, a living assignment hidden within the heart. It unfolds not when you demand it, but when you are ready to live it. Destiny is not discovered through searching. It is revealed through surrender. You look closer at the glowing script and see specific words rising from the page, truths meant for you alone. Speak light where others see darkness. Build where others have abandoned. Restore what fear has silenced. The words burn not to harm, but to ignite. They settle deep within your spirit until you realize they have become part of you. You whisper softly, "So this is why I was chosen." The angels nod, their faces radiant. One steps forward and says, without sound yet perfectly clear, the message has always been inside you. Heaven only waited for you to see it. You close your eyes for a moment, and the scroll merges into your chest, dissolving into golden light that pulses in rhythm with your heartbeat. The assignment is no longer external, it lives within you now. The task is not to perform it, but to embody it. You are both messenger and message. The Spirit reminds you that every assignment requires balance, revelation, and humility, passion and patience. You are not being sent to prove something, but to reveal someone. The Father's glory flows through vessels who know that the light they carry is not theirs to control. As you absorb this truth, a scripture rises from within your memory, glowing with new significance. Then I said, as written in the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 7, "Here I am. I have come. It is written about me in the scroll." You finally understand. The verse was not about a single prophet or time. It was about every chosen one awakened to purpose. The scroll represents not a command, but a covenant. It is heaven's reminder that your existence was never an accident. It was intentional design. The room around you vibrates softly as if heaven applauds your realization. The angels lift their faces toward the light, and you feel energy surge through the space, not chaotic but symphonic. The moment is holy, not because of its grandeur, but because of its truth. Purpose is the purest form of worship. You look around once more at the luminous halls, realizing that this dwelling is not just your home, it is also your mission. Every corner, every beam of light, every inscription carries the same message. Now that you have received, give. Now that you have seen, reveal. But heaven does not rush you. The Father's presence remains gentle, patient. You are not being pushed, you are being prepared. The scroll may now live within you, but its unfolding will take time. It will open layer by layer as you walk in obedience, revealing more each time you trust. The angels step back, their wings shimmering with quiet joy. You feel their approval not as praise but as partnership. They, too, will walk with you as you live out this divine assignment on earth. The scroll within your heart glows softly, a light that will never fade. You are no longer a seeker, you are a steward. And as you stand in that realization, heaven feels closer than ever, as if every breath you take now writes another line in your story of purpose. The air shifts again, no longer still, but alive with movement. The light around you begins to tremble softly, not in fear, but in anticipation. You sense it before you see it. The enemy has noticed your awakening. The war for the light bearers has begun. This is not the war of swords or fire, but of truth and illusion. The adversary does not strike with weapons, he strikes with distraction. He cannot take what heaven has sealed, so he attempts to divert what heaven has declared. His aim is not to destroy your calling, but to delay it until you forget the rhythm of your purpose. The angels are suddenly alert. Their wings expand in radiant arcs of silver and gold, each feather glowing like a living flame. They form a circle around you, their light pulsing in harmony with your heartbeat. The Spirit whispers, "Do not be afraid. Your awareness is your armor." You understand then that this war is not fought by might, but by focus. The battlefield is not the world, it is your attention. Every lie that seeks your agreement becomes a doorway. Every truth you affirm becomes a wall. The enemy tries to remind you of past failures, replaying them like old films in your mind. He whispers, "You are unworthy. You are unready. You are too late." But you have heard heaven's voice now, and it sounds nothing like shame. The lies feel hollow, like echoes in a room where light has already filled every corner. Chosen one. Remember, darkness has no memory. It only imitates light. The enemy cannot create. He can only copy and corrupt. He takes what God designed for beauty and tries to twist it into burden. But the moment you recognize his mimicry, his power collapses. The Spirit brings ancient strength to your remembrance. For it is written in the letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, darkness of this world. You stand firm, light expanding from your being. The enemy's whispers fade into silence. Heaven's frequency overtakes every other sound. You are not fighting for victory, you are standing in it. And now, a new understanding dawns every time you share light. You weaken darkness. Every truth you speak sends ripples through the unseen, tearing holes in the fabric of lies. The war for the light bearers is not only yours, it belongs to every soul awakened to truth. That is why your voice matters. When you like a message that carries heaven's breath, it is not just approval, it is alignment. You're saying, "I stand in light." When you share, you scatter seeds of awakening, and each one may bloom in a heart that was about to give up. When you subscribe, imagine planting your roots deeper into a stream of revelation, keeping your spirit nourished with messages that remind you who you are. Heaven does not ask for followers, it seeks fellow builders of light. And when you donate, think of it as striking a match in a dark field. Every offering time, love, prayer, or resource becomes another torch the angels can use to guide others home. It is not a transaction, it is participation in divine momentum. Your generosity turns the whisper of truth into a chorus that can reach nations. You might not see the full impact now, but heaven records every gesture. The smallest act of kindness creates a ripple that reaches further than your imagination. The Father turns those ripples into rivers of grace flowing toward lives you may never meet. You are not giving to sustain a message, you are giving to sustain movement. The light bearers rise not by might or fame, but by unity. Each heart that responds becomes a spark in the divine constellation that heaven calls the chosen ones. The angels rejoice as you understand this truth. They have always known that humanity's greatest weapon is compassion. The enemy's darkness crumbles in the presence of hearts that love freely and give selflessly. You were never asked to fight alone. You were asked to shine together. As the light grows, the battlefield dissolves. What remains is peace unshakable, radiant, victorious. You realize the war was never about winning. It was about remembering. Darkness only existed until someone turned on the light. The angels fold their wings, their eyes reflecting the satisfaction of completion. You are no longer a soldier, you are a torchbearer. The flame within you will ignite others until the whole horizon burns with awakening. And so, before this moment settles into memory, let heaven see your agreement. Leave a word of faith below. Write, I carry light. Those 3 words are not for the algorithm, they are for alignment. When you declare them, heaven recognizes your voice among the host of light bearers rising across the world. It is your signature on the covenant of courage. Chosen one, your calling is clear. Shine without apology, give without hesitation, love without condition. Because when you do, the kingdom expands and darkness remembers why it fears your name. Silence follows the battle, not the silence of emptiness, but of victory. The air feels thicker, heavier with peace. The angels no longer guard or fight, they rest, their wings folded close, their eyes reflecting calm. The war has ended, and you stand among the chosen who have overcome. The light around you has changed. It no longer burns, it breathes. It feels like the slow exhale of eternity, releasing tension from every corner of creation. You can sense heaven's satisfaction, as though the realm itself is whispering, "It is done." You look around and see other lights moving in the distance, souls like yours, chosen and awakened. Some you recognize, some you do not, but all shine with the same resonance. Together, you form a constellation of victory. The darkness that once divided you has melted away. What remains is unity, a sacred alignment of hearts tuned to the same divine frequency. You understand now what it means to overcome. It was never about destruction, it was about endurance. To overcome is not to erase the storm, but to stand within it until it learns your rhythm. Victory is not a shout, it is a stillness that cannot be shaken. The spirit within you speaks quietly. This is the victory of the chosen ones, not in power, but in perseverance. Every tear shed became oil for endurance. Every loss became seed for wisdom. You see it clearly, the enemy never defeated you because defeat was impossible for one written into eternity's script. The angels begin to move again, but not in urgency. Their gestures are graceful, reverent. One approaches, carrying a crown of light. Its design is unlike any earthly adornment, soft, radiant, weightless. You bow slightly as the angel places it upon your head. It does not sit heavy. It feels like memory, something that was always yours, finally returned. The crown does not symbolize superiority but completion. It is heaven's way of saying, you have remembered who you are. You were never a victim of circumstance. You were a participant in revelation. Every trial was a verse, every victory a chorus, every silence a sacred rest between songs. The light intensifies briefly, and you hear heaven's voice, one voice, yet many, as though the entire realm speaks through the same breath. Well done, faithful one. You have walked through the fire and did not curse the flame. You have stood in the storm and did not fear the wind. You have proven that light endure when tears gather in your eyes, but they are not born of sorrow. They are the body's response to overwhelming peace. You have no words to answer, only reverence. You realize that worship is not something you do, it is something you become. In this silence, your existence itself sings. The angels rise together, lifting their hands toward the heavens. The light of your crown connects with theirs, creating streams of gold that weave through the sky. You watch as these streams stretch outward, connecting every chosen one who has overcome. The image is breathtaking, a network of glory covering creation like an endless tapestry of fire. The Spirit whispers again, "This is the sealing. The light of the chosen ones will cover the earth until darkness has nowhere left to hide." You remember the scripture that foretold this moment, as it is written in the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11. They overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. Those words pulse in your chest as truth, not memory. You understand now that testimony is not just speech, it is embodiment. Every chosen one standing in the light is a living declaration of that verse. You did not merely read it, you became it. The air shifts again, softer this time. The angels begin to step back, their task nearing completion. Their faces reflect contentment, not departure. You know they will remain, unseen but present, watching as you and the others carry this light into the realm still touched by shadow. You look down once more at the crown of light upon your head. It glows steadily, pulsing in rhythm with your heart. You realize it is not jewelry, it is identity. It will not fade when you return to the world. It will only grow brighter with each act of faith, each word of truth, each gesture of love. The victory of the chosen ones is not the end of war, but the beginning of restoration. What was once fractured is being made whole. You are part of that mending now, part of the great repair of creation. The atmosphere around you hums with quiet triumph, not loud celebration. Heaven does not shout when it wins. It breathes, it restores, it continues. You stand in that serenity, neither warrior nor wanderer, but witness living proof that light not only survives the storm, but sanctifies it. The silence that follows victory feels endless, yet alive. It is the quiet hum of completion, the deep exhale of heaven after the storm. The air glows softly, not with the brightness of battle, but with the warmth of fulfillment. You can feel it in your spirit. The journey that began with a signal has come full circle. The photo you once glimpsed as a distant vision now surrounds you as living reality. You walk slowly through your dwelling, the home the angels revealed, the one heaven prepared. It is no longer an image of promise, it is substance. Every surface shines with memory. The walls pulse gently with light that moves in rhythm with your heartbeat. The floors feel alive beneath your steps, resonating with your essence. Everything here knows you because everything here was built from you. You pause at a window that looks not outward but inward. In its reflection, you see not the face of a wanderer but of one who has found home. There is no more striving, no more proving, only presence. You understand now that heaven was never far, it was always layered within you. waiting for awareness to unfold. The spirit moves gently, as if not to disturb the sacred stillness, and whispers, "This is your home, both within and beyond. It has no walls to confine you and no ceiling to limit you. It expands as you expand." You remember the pain, the wilderness, the doubts. They no longer sting. They exist only as soft echoes in the foundation, reminders of how far grace can reach. Every scar became structure. Every trial became light. The architecture of suffering was transformed into sanctuary. The angels appear again, not in battle form but radiant and calm. Their wings shimmer in hues you cannot name, their eyes filled with the satisfaction of completion. They do not speak, they do not need to. Their presence is language enough. You can feel gratitude flowing between you, silent yet thunderous in meaning. You realize with awe that you have become what the photo once showed. The home you were seeking was not a place to enter, it was a truth to embody. Heaven's dwelling has always been within the heart of the chosen. The image was simply the mirror, the revelation that your spirit had matured enough to hold divine habitation. Chosen one. The journey was never about earning this place. It was about remembering it. You were not traveling to heaven, you were awakening to it. The Father's promise has always been that the home of glory would not only await you in eternity, but live through you now. You turn and see a light descending through the center of the dwelling, soft as dawn, yet vast as creation. From within it, the voice of the Father fills every corner of existence. It does not shout, it harmonizes. You have returned, not from distance, but from forgetfulness. You were always mine, and I was always near. The sound resonates through your being, dissolving the last remnants of separation. Every thought that once carried fear now hums with peace. Every breath becomes prayer, every heartbeat worship. You understand now why heaven showed you that photo. It was not to tease you with what could be, but to remind you of what already was. A single scripture rises from your memory, glowing brighter than all the rest, the final seal upon this revelation. As it is written in the book of Revelation, chapter 21, verse 4. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away. Those words no longer sound like prophecy, they sound like present reality. You feel them unfolding in every breath, in every corner of this eternal dwelling. The old order of fear and striving has truly passed. You live now in unbroken peace, in a harmony that does not end. The angels lift their faces toward the light. You join them instinctively. There is no command to worship, only the natural response of one who has seen the fullness of truth. Worship flows not from obligation, but from recognition. You are not performing, you are resonating. The Father's voice speaks once more, soft as rain. This home is not just yours, it is you. Where you go, it goes. Where you shine, it expands. The dwelling of heaven moves through its chosen, filling the earth with remembrance. Chosen one, you have reached the end of this journey, but endings in heaven are only beginnings wrapped in light. What began as a message has become a memory written into your spirit. You've walked through revelation, restoration, and remembrance. Now heaven smiles not because the story is over, but because you have awakened within it. Pause for a moment. Breathe in deeply, Konyo. Can you feel it, that stillness, that warmth, that undeniable peace that is your confirmation? You are no longer standing outside the promise, you are living inside it. Every word you've heard has planted something eternal in you. Heaven doesn't just speak once it echoes. And you, chosen one, are the echo that carries forward. Every act of kindness, every choice to love, every prayer whispered in faith sends ripples through the unseen. The same light that filled this story now moves through your hands, your voice, your heart. If this message has touched your spirit, let it continue its journey. Like this moment as a quiet amen, a way of saying, I received it. Share it with another who needs to remember that heaven has not forgotten them. Let your act of sharing be the ripple that wakes another soul from silence. Leave a comment below right from your heart, even if it's just a few words of gratitude or recognition. Every comment is another candle lit in the sanctuary of remembrance. And if your spirit feels called to stay in this flow, subscribe and stay connected to the river of revelation. What you've seen is only the first dawn of what heaven is preparing to reveal next. You are home now. Carry the light. Share the message. Shine without fear.